time over here now.
It's 5 o'clock in the most powerful city in the world. It's time for the Guy Benson Show Happy Hour, brought to you by the Finnish Long Drink. Finland's most popular alcoholic beverage has come to America. Visit thelongdrink.com. And now, here's your host, Guy Benson.
Happy hour time on the Guy Benson Show, Monday edition. We are delighted that you're here with us. 1 hour to go here on the show. GuyBensonShow.com is our website, as it happens. The podcast is always free and on demand when the show ends, right at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is when I will skedaddle to Fox Business Network to guest co-host The Bottom Line. So hope to see you there immediately. As soon as this show ends, you get more Guy Benson. This time with Lisa Booth on the TV. So looking forward to that. Here on the radio, we want to remind you that this hour is sponsored by the Finnish Long Drink. I enjoyed some this weekend at a wedding I attended. More on that later this hour in the home stretch. Looking forward to reflecting on a really spectacular weekend. But the long drink was a part of it, and it was so good. I introduced it to some new friends, as a matter of fact, at the wedding. TheLongDrink.com, their website. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only. And with that, we welcome here into the studio, Fox News cultural icon, host of Kennedy Saves the World, the free podcast, which is just a huge hit, at Kennedy Nation on social media. It is Kennedy. Hello.
Wow. Guy Benson. Wonderful to be with you.
I see that your attire today is spectacular. We see here depicted on your shirt. Now, is this historically accurate? It appears to be George Washington crossing the Delaware, holding some sort of automatic weapon. It's an M4. Yeah. So is that real, Kennedy? Is that a real photograph? I would like to think
that was a standard issue during the Revolutionary War. He would have appreciated this weapon, certainly.
Someone invented, real quick, a camera, just snapped that of him, and it was saved for posterity.
That's right.
But I think he would approve.
Absolutely right.
So I had to comment on your sartorial choices first. Second, I also have to comment, this past weekend, not only was it the special wedding weekend that I just referenced, it was also, I believe they call it week 0 of college football, because there were a handful of games, but week 1 officially kicks off this coming weekend. I'm very excited because I'm a college football fan. You are as well. And if I'm not mistaken, your UCLA Bruins are playing at my Northwestern Wildcats this fall in Evanston. So a preemptive go Cats before I know how the season's going to go for either team.
Well, I know it's not going to go well for the UCLA Bruins, but we may have to go to the game. Have a big family trek.
It is possible.
Yes.
I might be persuaded. It's actually very odd because on the schedule this year for us, we've got you guys, UCLA. We've got the Ducks. We've got...
That will actually be a good game.
Well, I hope. If it is a good game, I will be thrilled. I think they'll probably have their way with us, but we'll see. New quarterback, highly touted. I'm hearing good things about the team, and I want to believe, so go Cats. We are at USC at the Coliseum. It feels almost like a... Not a fan of USC there?
Turns out no.
Is that what that...
Yeah, not a fan.
The sound
Coliseum
effect there?
Gross.
It just feels a bit like a Pac-12 schedule for us, because we have that cluster of former Pac-12
there
teams.
There should be a Pac-12. It would be nice if you had some Pac-12 visitors, but no. Everyone had to get greedy with the TV money. So they had to join the Big 10, and now it's the Big 35.
Yeah, I think, is it 18 at this point? 18 or 20?
Yeah.
I think it's 18.
Silly.
It is a little silly, but the branding is strong. So it's the Big 10 conference. The SEC's gotten huge. We can complain about college football another time, but I want to say we're playing at our Lakeside temporary stadium against the Bruins in late September, maybe. It's an early season game. Don't quote me on that. Let's consult our schedules. Kennedy.
Guy.
Gavin Newsom. The
barf in my mouth 20 times over. That's all you had to say.
We get more vomit sound effects. So this guy is really stepping up his presidential run. That's what this clearly is, right? The social media trolling thing that he's done, where he's pretending to be Trump and doing all this bravado, it seems to be working with his own party. Like the partisans in the Democratic rank and file are loving how he's fighting or whatever. I just wonder, is it appealing to anyone else?
No, the people who matter, like independents or disgruntled Republicans, absolutely not. It is. It's very inauthentic, and it's funny because it's hard to tell if he just wants to be Trump or he's making fun of him and it's parody, because it's now crossed the line into, he's put on the cloak and he really likes the way it feels. So he is now going with it, and he wishes that he had Trump's bravado, because it's much more fun to be a candidate who brags about their own accomplishments than someone who has to pretend to be humble, which is what he oftentimes does. And it's so gross and insincere.
Yeah, so maybe that is the more inauthentic thing, to pretend that you're humble when you're Gavin Newsom.
Or pretend that you care about things like homelessness, which he clearly doesn't.
Right, or other people.
No.
Or anything like that. I had read, and this is like a little salacious, and I don't want to linger on this too much, but I did not know this about him. You probably did.
He shagged his best friend's wife?
Not even that one, because that is also a true thing about him.
And has been well vetted.
I believe the other one that I'm referring to here is when he was mayor of San Francisco, and he was my age. He was dating a 19-year-old cocktail waitress or hostess at a restaurant, and I guess was like providing alcohol to her, and then pressured her to change her age, her listed age on MySpace, that original like OG social media platform, because a 39 or 40-year-old dating a teenager didn't seem like a great look. So she then started pretending to say that she was 26 when in fact she was 19.
Yeah.
And the spokesman was saying like, oh, if she has alcohol, then the mayor is unaware of that. That's an odd one to me as well.
Well, particularly since he owned and ran various drinking establishments in San Francisco. And a good friend of mine has a horrific Gavin Newsom story that she told me recently, and she teared up when she told me because she was so affected by it. So at the time, he was not the mayor. He was looking to get into politics. He was a fancy lad. He was a Nepo baby. And his dad owned a restaurant across the street from the one where she worked.
Because he's looked like a movie villain his whole life. Like he's like the mean kid from high school.
Yes, absolutely.
Central casting. And now he's just the adult movie villain now.
Yes.
Yes, go on.
So he went over to his friend's establishment where my friend worked. We'll call her Amy. And Amy was a cocktail waitress there. And she had just gotten out of college. She was pleasantly plump. She was not a big girl, but she had, a little baby fat in her face.
She was sturdy.
Yeah. She was a sturdy, husky girl. And she also happens to be Middle Eastern. So she went into, they had at the time a 6 CD changer, and every day at 6 o'clock, it was her job to change the CDs. So she goes into the closet where the CD changer is to go change CDs. And the owner of her establishment and Gavin Newsom were in there doing something with their noses. And he said, have you ever looked in the mirror? And first of all, he's like, get the F out of here. Have you ever looked in the mirror? He goes, you are disgusting. You are disgusting. And he said, you know what? Go back to where you came from and get the F out of here. He said that. Newsom said that.
That's what your friend told you.
Yes, firsthand. This is her account. And she said, I will never forget it. I knew who he was. I knew his name. My boss laughed it off because they were rich buddies and they both had drinking establishments in the same neighborhood. And she said, that embarrassed me so profoundly. I was so disgusted. I complained to my boss. He laughed it off. So she quit. But she said, if I ever see him, I'm going to confront him and tell him how much that hurt my feelings.
Wow.
That's the kind of person you're dealing with.
He and his office, meanwhile, on the policy front, they've been on this binge on social media, calling attention to heavy crime in cities in red states. So they have,
but not the cities, just the states themselves.
But he
just the red states. 9 of the 10 highest crime cities are in red states. So he's trying to focus on the state, but he's missing a very important point.
Correct. So some of the attacks, and it's just been this whole string of them, it talks about a city in a red state. Then there's a photograph of one of the Republican leaders of the state, a U.S. senator, a governor, but almost without fail, Every single one of these cities is run by Democrats and has been run by Democrats for decades. I was looking at some of them, like, there's Houston, Texas, there's Memphis, Tennessee. You go down the list. I was trying to find the most recent Republican mayor in some of these cities. And in some cases, there have been none when I've been alive.
It was before they invented newspapers.
In our case, yes, there were some cases where they haven't had a Republican mayor since before my parents were alive. And yet I guess the point that they're trying to make is, the crime is really bad because Republicans. Did it occur to them that what they're actually doing is putting out these brutal indictments
of themselves?
Of Democratic leadership of cities?
Yeah.
That's very odd to be doing. They're getting attention, so maybe that's the goal. So
poorly run cities fare even worse under Democrat leadership. That's what Gavin Newsom has to show for it, because San Francisco was bad before. It's worse now because he is the Democrat governor of that state. So San Francisco is one of those cities people hold up and wonder if it's past the point of no return, because it has gotten so bad there and it has gotten so unlivable. But even worse, the reputation of the city has suffered so much, even though there are still parts of the city which are very cute and fun and picturesque. It doesn't matter.
Well, this is what they do, and we've seen this from journalists. We've seen it from Democratic politicians as well. They will go to a nice, idyllic area of a city and film it. Like, look at all these people.
What they do in North Korea.
Riding their bikes and having picnics.
They don't show the labor camps, but they'll show the one remodeled classroom.
Right.
And then people who hate America will be like, see, North Korea is amazing.
Yeah, it's a Potemkin lie.
Yes.
And you're seeing them do it here like, this is a lovely setting in this city, so they're lying to you. Fox is lying to you when they talk about this being a hellhole. Trump is lying. And then it's like, I have a lot of other footage here that you aren't showing for some reason. It is such a clumsy manipulation. Kennedy, when we come back, I want to turn to a story also out of California that is both bonkers and enraging, but also completely on brand and appropriate, unfortunately. We'll get to those details right after this.
New talk for a new generation. The Guy Benson Show.
Our dear friend and just fabulous human being, Kennedy, our guest here on the Guy Benson Show Happy Hour. I want to stick with the California theme for a few more moments here, Kennedy. And this story, I think, will be of particular interest to our audience at KABC. This is a brand new piece today at the Washington Free Beacon. John Levine wrote it. Celebrities, he's good stuff, was at the New York Post for a long time now, is at the Free Beacon. Celebrities raised over $100 million for victims of the California wildfires. This is close to your heart and your life as well, Kennedy. But Fire Aid, this is the group that they were raising the money for, insisted the cash be spent, quote, equitably. Several nonprofits which received fire aid cash explicitly refused to serve white people. Others are primarily focused on illegal immigrants. Still more serve unrelated causes like Get Out the Vote projects for Native Americans and mental health initiatives for musicians from a nonprofit based in Tennessee. So a bunch of Americans opened their wallets and their hearts, seeing what happened to your community. They wanted to help. They gave to this charity, assuming that it would be better than maybe the California government. Fair assumption, of course. And then it's this woke, equity-focused endeavor where they're giving money to people who are completely unaffected by the fires, aren't even in California, or are racially discriminatory in a left-wing woke way. This is so pernicious and outrageous because I worry next time people need help, people will remember this and say, well, I don't know if my money, will my money go to something crazy? I'm not going to do it.
I'm going to be skeptical of every charitable organization and endeavor. And, you're talking about people like the wildfires didn't care how much money you made. They didn't care what you had in your garage. They didn't care about
what your skin color was.
Your kids' artwork. They didn't care about any of it. They didn't care about who you inherited your house from or how old your car was. It ravaged everything, and people lost every single thing they had. I can't tell you how many neighbors and some of my best friends were sifting through the ash of their homes looking for anything, any keepsake from their kids' childhoods. And there was really nothing there because it all incinerated. So that's why people were so generous with their giving, because anyone associated with California knows someone who lost everything. I mean, the entire town is gone. So it's like, I'm sure there needs to be equity in Native American voting rights. I have no doubt about it. So hold a fundraiser for that. Raise awareness for that. You don't think that's a worthy enough cause? That seems like bigotry to me.
Did you see Mayor Bass put out a tweet a few days ago talking about how this is like the fastest recovery effort in city history? Bragging?
In what sense?
Good question.
I mean, no one is rebuilding. I have a contractor who texts me every other week like, hey, are we ready to go? It's like, I'm still at ground one with the insurance company. Like, we haven't gotten past the first stage and we can't get permits. No one can.
It's so strange and such bad leadership to be out of the country when this predicted disaster hits, when you had promised to never leave the country. She was in Africa for some political thing. And then to rush back, do the blame game, and then preemptively start football spiking, back to football in our conversation. You don't spike the football when you're on your own 3-yard line.
Yes.
At the other end of the field, that's what this looks like and feels like. But I don't know what it is in the water out there, in the air, when it comes to California politicians. Some of these instincts are baffling.
I mean, it's where incompetence and corruption meet. And this has turned out to be a very deadly intersection. And, Spencer Pratt, bless his heart, from Spencer and Heidi, he's going out there every single day because he and his wife lost their home. I used to see them all the time at different stores and restaurants in Pacific Palisades, and here's someone who cares so deeply. He's trying to shine a light on what's going on. And there's so many people there going, this isn't right. Like, something horrible happened. Don't try to turn it into a positive when, you
haven't fixed anything.
Nothing. Like, what is the state of the businesses whose income was disrupted? What about the churches and the schools and the homes? You have thousands and thousands of people who have been displaced, and there are some lovely empty lots that people, for one reason or another, can't build on. If people could get permits, they would. I mean, here's an example. People can appeal to the Small Business Administration for low interest loans to rebuild. The SBA, if you go on there and apply, they kick you off for no reason. And they say that, the documents you provided are insufficient, and they kick you off completely and you have to start the process over again. So the bureaucracy on the many levels is paralyzing.
It's just a combined effect of government at work, which is why you're a libertarian. Very quickly, Kennedy, last question. I'm sure you've seen the video by now. Can you bench press more than Zohran Mamdani?
Yes. And I don't bench press often, but yes, absolutely. It's an embarrassment.
If you're not confident that you can lift that weight, what are you doing in public? Getting on the bench press.
That's a metaphor for his political confidence.
Just and the Democrats in general, I would say, and their issues with men. Kennedy, we always appreciate your time so very much, and we will see you very, very soon.
I heart you, Guy, and your family.
That is Kennedy on The Guy Benson Show.
You are the best thing on the radio!